What if the city you walk through every day is changing faster than you realize? Beneath familiar streets and busy skylines, crime patterns are shifting, reshaped by economic pressure, population growth, and social change. Some UK cities are becoming safer in unexpected ways, while others face rising risks, hidden behind redevelopment and nightlife culture. This video breaks down the top 10 most dangerous cities in the UK for 2026, using real data, research trends, and urban studies to reveal where risks concentrate and why. Stay until the end to understand how awareness changes the way you move, plan, and protect yourself in modern city life. Number 1. Birmingham is often highlighted in discussions about urban safety because of its complex and evolving crime landscape. As one of the UK's largest cities, Birmingham combines dense populations, busy transport hubs, and diverse economic conditions, all of which influence crime patterns. Research from police crime mapping and social behavior studies shows that violent crime and vehicle-related theft remain key concerns heading toward 2026. Certain inner-city areas experience higher incident rates, particularly where unemployment and housing pressure overlap. This does not define the entire city, but it does shape Birmingham's reputation in national crime statistics. Studies in criminology and urban sociology suggest that crime in Birmingham is closely tied to socioeconomic inequality and youth disengagement. Gang-related activity and knife crime tend to rise in neighborhoods with limited access to education, employment, and recreational facilities. Nighttime economies also contribute, as crowded entertainment districts can increase assaults and disorder. Researchers emphasize that crime here is often localized, meaning risk varies significantly from one district to another rather than being citywide. For residents and visitors, awareness is a practical tool. Staying alert in busy areas, securing vehicles properly, and avoiding poorly lit streets late at night can reduce exposure to risk. Community programs and neighborhood policing initiatives have shown measurable success in lowering crime where residents actively participate. Understanding Birmingham's safety challenges through data and research helps people make informed decisions while navigating daily life in a large, fast-moving urban environment. Local councils also promote crime prevention workshops, encouraging communication between citizens and authorities, which studies link to improved reporting and faster response times. Such coordinated efforts play a growing role in shaping safer streets across the city for future urban resilience. Number 2. London stands out as a city where scale and complexity heavily influence crime patterns. As a global capital, London attracts millions of residents, commuters, and tourists, creating constant movement and anonymity. According to crime trend analysis and metropolitan policing data, offenses such as theft, robbery, and knife-related incidents remain prominent concerns moving toward 2026. Crime levels vary sharply between boroughs, with central and transport-connected areas reporting higher incident volumes due to crowd density and economic activity. Research in urban criminology shows that London's crime is shaped by inequality, housing pressure, and social fragmentation. Areas experiencing rapid development often see short-term crime spikes linked to displacement and rising living costs. Organized crime networks also exploit the city's international connections, contributing to drug distribution and financial crimes. Studies highlight that youth violence is frequently connected to limited access to stable employment and education, rather than geography alone. This reinforces the idea that crime in London is structural and localized, not evenly spread. From a practical standpoint, situational awareness plays a major role in personal safety. Keeping valuables concealed, remaining alert on public transport, and understanding neighborhood risk profiles can significantly reduce vulnerability. Authorities emphasize community engagement and data-driven policing, which research associates with improved crime prevention outcomes. Local councils continue investing in youth outreach and surveillance technology to address emerging threats. For individuals navigating London daily, understanding crime patterns through evidence rather than perception allows safer decision-making within one of the world's most dynamic urban environments while supporting smarter, research-backed approaches to city living. Number 3. Manchester continues to attract attention due to shifting patterns in violent crime and drug-related offenses linked to rapid urban growth. As a major cultural and economic hub in the north of England, the city combines a busy nightlife, expanding residential developments, and large event venues. Research based on police statistics and urban risk assessments indicates that assaults and robberies are more common in entertainment districts, especially during late hours. Population movement and visitor density increase opportunity-based crime, shaping Manchester's placement in safety rankings. Academic studies in urban sociology and criminology point to the influence of nighttime economy pressure and post-industrial inequality. Areas undergoing regeneration may experience temporary crime increases as social structures adjust. Drug distribution networks often overlap with nightlife zones, escalating violence between rival groups. Youth involvement in crime is frequently associated with limited access to long-term employment and support systems. Experts stress that Manchester's crime profile is concentrated by location and time, rather than being consistent across the entire city. Practical awareness strategies can lower exposure to risk for residents and visitors. Choosing well-lit routes, planning transport ahead of late outings, and staying aware in crowded areas are strongly recommended. Community policing programs and targeted patrols have demonstrated positive effects in reducing repeat offenses. Local authorities also invest in outreach initiatives aimed at early intervention, which studies link to long-term crime reduction. Understanding Manchester's safety challenges through research allows people to navigate the city confidently while supporting informed decisions rooted in data rather than assumption. These insights encourage balanced perspectives, highlighting prevention, cooperation, and informed mobility, while reminding urban populations that awareness, planning, and collective responsibility remain central to safer city experiences overall for everyone involved. Number 4. Liverpool has long been associated with discussions around urban crime due to its historic links to organized networks and port activity. Modern research using police data and social forecasting shows that drug-related crime and property offenses remain notable concerns moving toward 2026. Certain neighborhoods experience higher rates because of economic deprivation, housing instability, and limited employment access. Busy nightlife zones and transport corridors also increase opportunistic crime, shaping public perception and statistical rankings across the city. Studies in criminology suggest Liverpool's crime patterns are closely connected to social inequality and long-term deprivation cycles. Organized groups involved in drug distribution often concentrate activity in specific districts, leading to localized violence. Research highlights that youth crime frequently rises where education engagement and community resources are weaker. These findings emphasize that risk is unevenly distributed, influenced more by structural factors than by the city's cultural identity. From a practical perspective, awareness and routine planning can reduce exposure to crime. Securing homes, avoiding poorly lit routes, and staying alert in crowded areas are supported by crime prevention studies. Liverpool has expanded community policing and neighborhood partnerships, which research links to improved reporting and deterrence. Local regeneration projects focusing on education, youth programs, and employment aim to address root causes rather than symptoms. Understanding these evidence-based approaches helps residents and visitors navigate the city with confidence. Balancing caution with appreciation for Liverpool's strong community spirit and ongoing efforts to create safer urban environments. Such strategies rely on cooperation between authorities and citizens, reinforcing trust, visibility, and shared responsibility, which researchers associate with long-term crime reduction and improved perceptions of safety across diverse urban populations in rapidly changing metropolitan environments today and tomorrow nationwide. Number 5. Leeds has experienced noticeable changes in urban safety as the city expands economically and demographically. As a major business and student center, Leeds combines busy commercial districts with an active nightlife, which research links to higher rates of assault and theft. Police trend reports indicate that city center areas see the greatest concentration of incidents, particularly during weekends. These patterns are influenced by crowd density, alcohol consumption, and transport hubs that attract both opportunity and risk. Academic studies in criminology suggest that crime in Leeds is closely connected to youth population dynamics and social inequality. Large student communities increase temporary populations, which can strain policing resources in certain neighborhoods. Research also highlights that economic pressure in surrounding districts contributes to antisocial behavior and violent incidents. Importantly, crime distribution is uneven, with many residential areas remaining relatively stable compared to nightlife-focused zones. For everyday safety, practical awareness remains essential. Planning late-night travel, staying within well-lit areas, and keeping personal belongings secure are supported by crime prevention research. Leeds has invested in community patrols, improved lighting, and student safety partnerships, approaches shown to reduce repeat offenses. Long-term strategies focusing on education access, employment pathways, and youth engagement aim to address underlying causes. Understanding these evidence-based efforts allows residents and visitors to navigate Leeds confidently while supporting informed choices and shared responsibility for safer urban living. Data-driven policing models and cooperation between universities, local councils, and residents continue evolving, reflecting findings from urban safety studies that emphasize prevention over reaction, visibility over isolation, and community presence as key factors in reducing crime perception and improving long-term public confidence across growing metropolitan environments nationwide today. Number 6. Bradford is frequently discussed in safety assessments due to persistent challenges linked to violent crime and community-level disorder. Research based on police crime data indicates that assaults and robbery incidents remain higher than the national average in certain districts. Rapid population growth, housing pressure, and uneven economic development contribute to these trends. Crime is not evenly spread across the city, but specific neighborhoods experience repeated incidents, shaping Bradford's position in projected 2026 risk rankings. Academic research in urban studies and social criminology highlights strong connections between crime, social deprivation, and youth disengagement. Limited access to education pathways, employment opportunities, and recreational spaces has been linked to higher youth involvement in violence. Studies also show that mistrust between communities and authorities can reduce crime reporting, allowing repeat offenses to persist. These findings suggest that Bradford's crime challenges are structural rather than cultural, influenced by long-term inequalities rather than short-term behavior patterns. From a practical standpoint, informed awareness can lower everyday risk. Residents are encouraged to maintain visible home security, stay aware in crowded commercial areas, and avoid poorly lit routes at night. Community policing initiatives and local partnership programs have shown positive results, particularly where residents actively participate. Research supports early intervention strategies, including youth mentorship and employment training, as effective tools for long-term crime reduction. Understanding Bradford's safety landscape through evidence helps individuals navigate the city with clarity, while highlighting the importance of investment in social support systems, communication, and prevention-based approaches that strengthen community resilience and promote safer urban environments for future generations. Number 7. Coventry has seen growing attention in urban safety discussions as economic transitions reshape the city. Once defined by manufacturing, Coventry now balances regeneration with pockets of deprivation that influence crime trends. According to police analysis and urban research, theft, assault, and antisocial behavior show higher concentration in specific residential and commercial zones. Transport corridors and shopping districts experience increased opportunity-driven crime, especially during peak hours, which contributes to Coventry's rising visibility in projected UK safety assessments for 2026. Studies in criminology and social policy suggest Coventry's crime patterns are closely linked to inequality, housing instability, and limited youth opportunities. Areas facing unemployment and reduced public services often report higher violence levels. Research highlights that younger offenders are more likely to be involved where education engagement is low and community spaces are scarce. These findings show that crime is highly localized, shaped by structural pressures rather than reflecting the character of the entire city. Practical awareness strategies supported by crime prevention research can reduce everyday risk. Securing property, remaining alert in busy retail areas, and planning evening travel routes improve personal safety. Coventry has expanded neighborhood policing, surveillance coverage, and youth outreach programs, approaches associated with reduced repeat offenses. Long-term regeneration, focused on employment skills and education access, aims to address underlying causes. Understanding Coventry's safety challenges through data empowers residents and visitors to move confidently. Supporting cooperation between communities and authorities while encouraging informed decisions, shared responsibility, and sustainable progress towards safer urban living in the years ahead. Such evidence-based perspectives help contextualize risk, reduce fear-driven assumptions, and emphasize prevention, inclusion, and accountability as central elements in evolving city safety strategies for future planning. Number 8. Nottingham has remained a focal point in national safety discussions due to persistent issues surrounding violent crime and street robbery. Research drawing on police statistics shows that knife-related incidents and assaults are concentrated in inner-city districts and nightlife corridors. Student populations, transport hubs, and late-night economies increase interaction density, which raises opportunity-driven offenses. These conditions influence Nottingham's ranking while masking safer suburban areas that experience far lower crime rates overall. Urban expansion and housing pressure further complicate enforcement and prevention strategies for local authorities across the city. Academic studies in criminology link Nottingham's crime trends to socioeconomic inequality and youth marginalization rather than geography alone. Areas with limited employment pathways and reduced community services report higher involvement in violence. Drug distribution networks often overlap with entertainment zones, escalating conflict during peak hours. Researchers emphasize that crime remains highly localized, shaped by structural pressures and social disconnection instead of citywide behavioral patterns. Long-term studies show prevention improves when education access, mentoring, and trust-building initiatives are consistently funded by local councils, schools, and community organizations working together effectively over time. Practical safety measures focus on awareness rather than avoidance. Staying alert on public transport, securing belongings, and choosing well-lit routes at night reduce vulnerability. Nottingham has expanded community policing and data-led patrols, approaches associated with declining repeat offenses. Understanding these evidence-based patterns helps residents and visitors navigate the city confidently while supporting balanced perspectives on risk and resilience. Such insight encourages cooperation, informed planning, and realistic expectations that strengthen everyday decision-making for diverse urban populations across changing neighborhoods, economic conditions, and future development cycles studied by researchers nationwide today continuously. Number 9. Sheffield is increasingly included in discussions about urban safety as the city continues to adapt after decades of industrial change. Police trend analysis and regional crime studies indicate that violent incidents and drug-related offenses remain key concerns in specific districts. Former industrial neighborhoods facing economic decline often report higher crime levels, while regenerated areas show more stability. This uneven distribution shapes Sheffield's overall safety profile heading toward 2026, highlighting contrasts between revitalized zones and communities still experiencing long-term deprivation pressures. Research in urban criminology shows Sheffield's crime patterns are strongly linked to post-industrial inequality, limited employment access, and reduced youth services. Studies suggest that areas with fewer educational and recreational opportunities see higher involvement in antisocial behavior and violence. Drug markets tend to concentrate in zones with weaker social infrastructure, increasing conflict and repeat offenses. Experts emphasize that crime in Sheffield is not widespread across the city, but localized where social support systems have historically declined or failed to adapt. From a practical standpoint, informed awareness remains a valuable safety tool. Staying alert in transport hubs, avoiding poorly lit routes at night, and securing property align with evidence-based prevention strategies. Sheffield has expanded neighborhood policing and community-led initiatives, which research links to improved reporting and reduced repeat crime. Long-term investment in education, skills training, and youth engagement aims to address root causes rather than surface-level symptoms. Understanding Sheffield's safety challenges through research allows residents and visitors to navigate daily life with confidence, supporting cooperation between communities and authorities while encouraging prevention-focused approaches that contribute to safer, more resilient urban environments for future generations across the region. Number 10. Leicester has gained attention in urban safety discussions as rapid population growth reshapes the city as social landscape. Police data analysis indicates that property crime, street theft, and sporadic violent incidents occur more frequently in densely populated districts, expanding residential areas and busy commercial corridors. Increase opportunity-based offenses, particularly during peak hours. These patterns influence Leicester's placement in projected 2026 safety rankings, while many quieter neighborhoods maintain relatively stable conditions compared with high-traffic zones across the city. Local demographics and mobility further shape enforcement demands for authorities during ongoing transitions. Academic research in criminology links Leicester's crime trends to inequality, housing pressure, and strained public resources. Areas experiencing rapid development sometimes face short-term increases in antisocial behavior. Studies show youth involvement in crime is higher where education engagement and employment pathways are limited. Organized theft and drug distribution networks also concentrate activity in specific neighborhoods. Researchers stress these risks are localized, driven by structural conditions rather than reflecting the character of the entire city. Longitudinal studies highlight prevention gaps during periods of demographic change and service reallocation challenges for local councils nationwide. Practical safety strategies emphasize awareness and routine planning, securing homes, concealing valuables, and staying alert in crowded areas reduce vulnerability. Leicester has expanded neighborhood policing, surveillance, and community partnerships, which studies associate with improved reporting and deterrence. Long-term investment in education, housing stability, and employment access targets underlying causes. Understanding Leicester's safety profile through data enables residents and visitors to make informed decisions, supporting balanced perspectives on risk, resilience, and everyday urban life. Such knowledge encourages cooperation between citizens and authorities during ongoing urban transformation efforts, supported by research evidence and policy evaluation. Understanding urban safety is about awareness, not fear. The cities discussed in this video reflect how crime patterns evolve alongside population growth, economic pressure, and social change. Research consistently shows that crime is rarely uniform across an entire city. Instead, it is localized, shaped by factors such as inequality, housing stress, youth disengagement, and nightlife density. By looking at data rather than headlines, viewers gain a clearer picture of how risk truly operates in modern UK. Cities approaching 2026. What matters most is how people respond to this information. Studies in criminology emphasize that informed behavior, community involvement, and prevention-focused strategies significantly reduce vulnerability. Simple actions such as planning travel, staying alert in busy areas, and engaging with local safety initiatives can make a meaningful difference. Cities are not static, and many areas mentioned are also investing heavily in regeneration. Education and policing reforms that show measurable improvements over time. If you found this breakdown useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective helps shape future content. For more videos exploring urban living, safety awareness, and social research, check out the related content on screen. Stay informed, stay aware, and continue learning how data-driven insight supports smarter, everyday decisions for safer city life ahead.